Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another session of Deep Dive Training with the Government Contractors Association. In tonight's session, we've been going through a lot of different trainings. Hey, come on in. We've been going through the 5 P's of government contracting. So as you guys remember, our success formula is P plus P plus P equals P, right? Who remembers the first P? Do a quick review. Who remembers the first P? Preparation. Yes. Who's got the second P? Second P. You should know, Hafisa, you've been coming for a long minute, so you should know. After you prepare your business to engage the government, what do you do next? That's the third one. Yeah, so you got it. So promotion. Yep, and then proposal. And then we get into performance. Right, so that's our success formula. And that equals what? Profit, that's right. So all of our deep dive training sessions is centered around the success formula. P plus P plus P plus P equals profit. So we've been going over preparation for the last 3 months or so. We finished preparation. Right now we are in the promotion phase. So tonight we're going to start off with promotion. Oh, we actually have been doing promotion for 2 weeks. So we're on the 3rd session of promotion. So we're going to talk about how to promote your business. Most of our training, if not almost all of our training, comes from our software, govfasttrack.com. So govfasttrack.com is the software that our training, our deep dive training session is all around here, and it makes your contracting endeavors a lot easier because it is the blueprint to being successful in the government market. Now, can you do it without a blueprint? Can you build a house without a blueprint? Yes. Is it going to be, when the Hurricane Irma comes by, is it going to stand? No, probably not, right? Not even Hurricane Irma, just a little gust of wind, that house will probably crumble. So if you build a business without a blueprint, can you be successful? You might win a contract here and there and eventually figure it out, and that's fine. There's many ways of how you do this here. But with a blueprint, it makes it easier for you to go and get government contracts. So most of our members use the software as the blueprint to help them. Now, if you don't have the software yet, that's totally fine. You can come to these classes and get the information and so forth. But with the software, it makes it faster and easier, so you can kind of work on it on your own, and you don't have to necessarily wait until we cover that information to do that stuff. So the training is centered around the 5 P's. If you do want the software, see me after class, or you can go to govfasttrack.com and go here and just order from online here. Now, as a member, you do get a special pricing. So if you want to buy it, don't buy it online. Come and see me so I can give you the special discount code to get it at the half price. So, and the half price is only for if you're buying the lifetime license. You can do it monthly as well as $149 a month. So I can get you the lifetime license for $999 instead of $2,000. Just see me and I'll take care of that for you. But the training is centered around our success formula. So we've talked through preparation, assessment strategy, education, registration. We've talked through all these things through the last few months. Right now we're under the promotion phase. So we've talked through your image. We talked about what your brand needs to look like, and we talked about your capability statements. We talked about how to email contracting officers, how to engage them, what that should look like. Today we're going to talk about, I'm going to talk about networking events. I'm going to do a quick review on email. I'm going to talk about networking events, and then I'm going to jump into relationship building. So that's what we're going to be covering today. Who in here have engaged contracting officers before and have some level of success? Anybody? You've done that, Jacqueline. Yeah. Yeah, you know, if you've done it, that's part of it is practicing, right? Part of it is getting in there, practicing, and doing it. So there's many ways of how you can engage contracting officer, but I put in here a few ways. And when you're engaging government buyers, one of the best ways is to engage them by email. They don't always have time to answer the phone, but usually they, you know, when they have a little bit of slow time, they're going to be able to look at their email and they'll be able to respond back to you. When is the best time of the year to engage a contracting officer for relationship building? During the buy season is not the best time. During the off season. And what time is the off season in the federal market? First part of the year. First part of the fiscal year. The government works on a buying cycle. Their fiscal year starts October 1st and it ends September 30th.
So after September 30th is a good time to start.
After October 15th.
After October 15th.
And the reason is because things that they didn't get done in September, they push it off, they extend the date till about October 15th. And maybe even some of them might even extend to October 30th. So they're trying to wrap up.
November is the best month then.
Yeah, November and January is usually the best time.
And obviously before Thanksgiving in November.
Yeah. The first three weeks of November is good. December, everybody's on vacation mode. They're on, you know, they've got turkey coma after all the turkey they've ate, and then they're on, you know, Christmas holiday spending spree. So December.
Many events. Everybody imagine for every single party.
Yes, yeah, they're attending parties, doing different things. So November, first 3 weeks, or second week of January is usually the best time to build relationship and get to connect with them. Now you can do it any time of the year. Right. Anytime, but those are consistently the best time because that's when they have they're preparing and they have more time on their hand to engage you and talk back to you and communicate back and forth. So that's just a little tip. Now, that's the federal market. At the state market, what's their fiscal year? The end of what?
I didn't know they had a fiscal. Okay, so
your business, you have a fiscal year, right? What's your fiscal year? January 1st to December 31st, right? Typically, most businesses, you use the calendar cycle as your fiscal year. But the government, they don't use the calendar year as their business year or as their fiscal year. So federal is October 1st to September 30th. States, most states, if not all states, is July 1st to June 30th. So June 30th, the month of June is their busiest time. Whereas September is the busiest time for contracting officer in awarding contracts. They have a budget, they have to spend that budget, or else they may get less funding the next year. So they're going to look for, we need more, you know, they have extra funding, so they're going to say, we need more furniture, we're going to need more, you know, we're going to need more translators for this, or we're going to need more, we're going to go on this company trip. We need additional training for this area. They're going to spend a lot of slush money during that time there. So when you're emailing,
Sorry.
you watching soccer?
No,
So on the state level, you said July?
July 1st, July, August, September. July, August, September is usually the first 3 months of their fiscal year. So that's where they have more flexibilities in terms of time. May and June is when that's the highest buying season for them. So they're not gonna return your emails. They're just trying to put out contracts. He's talking about state.
State, okay.
Yeah. State is May and June is their busiest time. They're putting out contracts during that time. They got to finish their fiscal year, and so they got to finish all their purchasing during May and June. And then July and August and September is when they have a lot more free time to plan and to engage and foster relationships.
So is that why, like, 'cause I noticed that with Clayton County, I noticed they got a lot of events right now. By
Correct.
this time, you know, we're talking about buying from local vendors,
Mhm.
things of that nature. It just seems like the last couple, 2 or 3 months, they've been having a lot of.
Yes, this is their lull time. And so this is where they do a lot of their marketing, their outreach, their engagement, and this is more of that time for them. So if you're engaging them by email, kind of give you a quick example. So I have this email sample template in here as well as a few tips for you. So a few of my tips is to keep it short. I have this friend, and when he sends me an email, it's like 2 or 3 pages long. I promise you, I don't read the whole thing. I skim to see what it is.
Looking for the hot points.
Correct, that's it. And when he's asking me, hey, did you see this? I said, I'm not going to try to hurt your feelings, but I did not read everything you sent. You need to be more succinct. So when you're emailing, keep it like 5 sentences, around 5 sentences, maybe 2 paragraphs, but short sentences, 2 or 3 sentences per paragraph, and you're done. Don't make it long. I mean, very short, concise, to the point. So keep it short. Be personable. At the same time, be professional. Now, Jacqueline, you call me yes, sir. What do you guys think about when Jacqueline, when she answers me, she says yes, sir, or she says she's very formal, very respectful in that way. What do you guys think about that? Good, bad, or doesn't matter?
I do the same thing.
Good.
You should want.
Good.
Shouldn't you use it on a personal basis?
No, but I said she doesn't say that. She says yes, sir.
But it's also it's regional as well, correct? Because we're in the South, and that's what you say in the South.
Mhm.
Yes, sir, and yes, ma'am, and so on. So
Okay.
forth. But if I were in, I think, like Oregon,
Uh-huh.
it might be different. There.
Yeah. So yeah, it is situation on a situational basis.
Yeah.
For me, I try to do it on a personal level. And when I'm talking to you, Kyle, I'm not calling you sir.
Right.
I say, hey dude, hey
Yeah.
Kyle,
Yes.
or I won't even use your name, because
Yeah.
we're friends.
Because we're friends.
And so you want them to treat you like a friend. You have to break down the barrier from the very beginning, and just address them on their first name basis from the very beginning. That's my opinion, though.
Yeah.
No, I get it, and I mean, I understand. Usually what happens in that situation, they'll just say,
No, if you're not sure, approach it from a respectful place.
I will.
So you,
At some point, I feel like he'll say, Jack is okay, well, it's okay to call me Jen,
yes,
or whatever, that's kind of how I do it,
and you do what works for you.
Right.
I'm sharing from a very high level perspective in terms of how you break down the barrier
Right.
of making friends with somebody, and so when you're friends with somebody, you don't say, hey, I don't say, hey, Mr. Smith or Mrs. Smith. I just say,
I
hey.
do that one day. I gotta get a little bit more comfortable. I just probably shot him out of this chair.
And that's okay. You do what's good for you. I'm just telling you my style and how I try to break down the barriers, because they're already a stranger to me.
Right.
And so I'm trying to connect us very fast, and instead of trying to be super formal with them, I'm trying to break down the barriers from the very beginning.
How about if you ask them in your meeting, you're talking, and you might not call you by your first name?
If you're not going to be talking to them for 3 or 4 months, because you got to warm up this relationship to where they even will talk to you on the
I
phone.
may take that approach. I really may take that approach and just asking, is it okay for me to call you?
Yes.
Or do you mind me calling you?
Oh yeah, and that's a good way. But I'm talking about from a general perspective.
I got you.
Yeah. Roberto, you got a comment?
Yes, this is a comment and it's a thank you at the same time. It was recently a meeting with the DCAP, watershed management
Yeah.
team, and then sometimes you just show up, and then the person will tell you how they want to be engaged.
Yeah.
And this guy was tremendously approachable,
Correct.
very personal, very open-minded, and I want to help you guys.
Mhm.
And this is the way that you
Yeah.
can come to me. So you just wait for the people to just express the way that they want to communicate, and immediately he just connects with you like a friend to friend. He don't know you, but he said to you, "I want to help my small business to success." He said that from the beginning. It's straightforward, and that was incredible.
Yeah. Because they're human beings, just like you and I. That you.
Yeah, I think like he said, somebody said though, I think it's a regional. I mean, it's kind of like we're Southerners. That's kind of most of us. And like I'm from Louisiana, so I'm further back than Georgia. So at the end of the day, that's just what we do.
Yeah,
When somebody's in a position of authority,
and that's totally okay. You do you.
I'm gonna say, I'm just saying.
Like, let me give you a different example, okay? You come over to my house and you say, "Hey, can I get a drink from your fridge?" What does that tell me about you?
That's true.
I respect your property.
No.
But that's what it does to me.
That we're not family.
Yeah, that we're not family. That I'm a stranger to you. You have to be so polite that you have to even ask. Now you come to my house and you thirsty. You just go to the fridge and and you treat me like family like that, and we're just gonna be buddies in that way. But again, that's my approach. That's how I approach contracting. But you can take the formal approach, and that works as well. There's no right or wrong. I'm just giving you one way of how it can work. But let's continue.
So here's the question. So you're saying initially, when you get the person on the phone, you would say, "Hi," whatever the first name is, and then go into, introduce yourself.
So I call you up. Ring, ring. May I speak with Miss Dixon? Automatically, what's in your mind?
This is a business call. One of those.
Yeah, it could be a telemarketing call.
Yeah, one of those.
Who is this calling me?
I'm not feeling that,
So let me reverse that. Ring, ring. Hey, Deborah, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Who is this?
See, now you feel bad because you don't know me. I'm your friend, and you're like, I don't recognize this voice. Who is this person? Because I'm treating you like a friend from the beginning, and now your guard did not go up. You're not alarmed that I'm a telemarketer or I'm calling to sell you something. And so it's just my way of how I do it. Yeah. Again, no right or wrong, just preference. Let's continue. At the same time, you have to be professional. So you have to be personable and professional. The key to it is follow up, right? No one's going to address you from the first time you engage them. They're busy people, not that they don't want to work with you, not that they don't want to work with small businesses. They're just busy. And so you have to keep on engaging and following up with them over and over and over. In your email, include your contact information, attach your capability statement, trying to understand what their needs are and anticipate what their needs are, and do some research in advance. And then be solutions oriented as you engage them. Don't just pitch your services. And if the whole email is pitching your services, that's too cold. And then when you do list something, use bullet points. And then please send from a professional email address. not hotdaddykyle@yahoo.com. Okay?
That doesn't work.
Yeah. Well,
Get that back.
yeah. There you go. Yeah. So here's an example. If I'm looking for a sole source contract, this would be an example. This is my first time engaging them. This is my first email. So I will use a person's first name, and and there's no right or wrong way. I'm just showing you this is one way. I want to introduce myself in our company to your agency for the hopes of being able to provide some solutions to your needs. And you can say this many different ways. My name is Abraham. Our company is ABC. We are a SWSB HubZone 8A women-owned. and what other certifications you have. Now, this is not a good email if you're marketing to a large client, to a large company, and you want to be a subcontractor. You don't want to lead off with, we are an 8A company, women-owned. That's not the best way to lead off. This is, if you're leading out to a government, this is a good way to lead off. We specialize in ABC, 1, 2, 3, and I just put bullet points. Now, you may do 500 different things. Jacqueline, you have like 500 different products. You don't want to list all 500 products.
Right.
You want to choose. You want to identify. Okay, this agency, they like to buy this and this and this, and choose the top 3 things that you think is the best match for them, for that agency. And then here, should you have any? This is the most important sentence in all of this here. Should you have any simplified acquisition needs or sole source initiatives, we can respond very quickly to support your projects. Now, let me break this down. What is simplified acquisition procedures? What is that? Anybody? SAP.
Does it go out to bid?
It does.
Oh, it does?
May not. It doesn't have to. Simplified acquisition are projects that's $150,000 or less.
Okay.
So I'm telling this contracting officer, I say, hey, if you have any project that's low dollar amount, $150,000 or less, I'm your guy. Come to me. I can do it quick. I can respond quickly to you. But I'm also speaking his language, because most small businesses have no idea what simplified acquisitions are. This contracting officer, they know what that is. And so when I'm telling him or her that if you got any projects $150,000 or less, those are like little projects you just need someone to do quickly, and I'm the company to go to. And then I also said, or sole source initiatives. What are sole source initiatives?
Only one person, only one company. That's it.
Yes. If you have to find a company to do something quick, and you're doing a direct award to someone, let me be that company. Because sole source initiatives can go to 8A, women-owned, HubZone, and veteran-owned businesses. I'm telling this person, sole source, hey, I'm your guy. Come to me. And I say, I can do it very quickly.
I didn't know sole sources went to the HubZone.
They can, but most sole source goes to 8A companies.
Right, I just didn't know.
Yeah. It's very rare that it goes to HubZone companies.
Okay.
Yeah. But in the regulation, there is a clause to where they can do it to HubZone. Women-owned and veteran-owned as well. But the bulk of sole source goes to 8A companies. There's different types of sole source out there. If you are the only company, let's assume that you created this medical device and you're the only company that can produce it, they're going to have to give you sole source because they can't go buy from anywhere else. So that's a different type of sole source. If they want missile defense system, do you think they're going to put out a $5 billion project? You know, these countries are testing nuclear weapons and we want a missile defense system over in the peninsula in South Korea and in Japan, just in case a nuclear weapon is fired from North Korea or something like that. They're not going to go and shop around and see who can do this project. They're going to keep it on the low. It's going to be top secret. It's on a need-to-know basis, and they're gonna call Lockheed directly and meet with the CEO of Lockheed and said, hey, we got this project and we want you to do it. And it's a $5 billion project, and it's sole source. So, and there's different types of sole source. Now, for most of you, the sole source that you're looking for is 8A sole source, which the threshold is $4 million. And so you're going for the small business sole source. Any questions on this here? So at the end, you have your name, your company, and then your capability statement. So make sure you attach it to the email.
Can we get a hold? Can we get this information here? Is there something that we can put?
It's in the software.
In the software.
Yeah, so I attach it in the software. So all these, in this software, we have 194 samples, templates, and resources already in here. So if you need non-disclosure, if you need team agreements, if you need sample emails, it's all in here. or you can watch the video, because I just covered it on the video, and the GovVault has all this here in there as well. But it's not the template, you just have to watch the video. Excuse me? GovTrainingVault.com. Yeah. Part of developing relationship is there's a lot of different events out there, and you can go to all these different events. If you want to take a quick picture of this here, feel free.
No?
Yes, before I change screen, because I'm not going to spend time on this here.
Okay.
So these are all the different places you can go and do networking events. The SBA have events, the PTAC have events, our website we have different events, govevents.com, all these are great places. GSA have events. The best event for most of you to attend, there's one big event every year that as a small business, you should attend this event. And anybody know what event that is? The OSDBU Conference.
What?
OSDBU Conference, OSDBU Conference. So it is put on by this organization, fbcinc.com. They are an events management company, and they manage a lot of the government events. Yeah, fbcinc.com/procurement. And the OSDBU Conference is probably the best event for you as a small business to attend. There are many, many events every single year.
When is it?
It is usually during April.
This is for the next year.
Yeah, they already have it last April. Let me see.
And you go?
April 19th. Yeah, so it's a one-day event. And this is the event that you as a small business, there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of government agency buyers here at this event. And so in one event, you get exposure to so many different things. Now, once you're more established as a small business, you should get a table at this event so that they can come and see you as well. So that way you can go to visit everybody, but if you have a table also, they can come and engage you. So this is a good event for that.
Do they actually engage them?
Yeah.
The vendors?
That's the whole purpose of this event, is for OSDBU. OSDBU, the OSDBU Conference. Who knows what that stands for?
Office.
Okay, good. Office of Small Business. Yes. Office of Small Business Development. No. Office of Small Disadvantaged Business Utilization. Yes. So most agency has an OSDBU office. So agency, the OSDBU, this is the agency that works within agencies to help small businesses. So you want to engage them. So this is the best event to attend. And there's many other events you can attend. Here's this next section here. If you want to take a picture of this next session. These are private sector organizations and more organizations that you can attend. If you're an 8A company, the National 8A Association, they have an annual conference. The HubZone Council, they have a conference as well. In fact, they did this here like a year ago. They came to Atlanta a year ago.
Oh, so they had different states.
Yeah.
Just like the
8A travels too.
Alaska.
Yeah. They travel around. So many more. All right, so let's go into social media. Let's talk about social media. In the government market, is social media effective in the government market? Pseudo,
Actually,
yeah, probably not very effective.
no.
It's not.
Yeah, so if you have to decide in terms of whether you spend time on social media, engaging government, probably not the most effective. But because they are starting to do that more, it may be where most of them are emailing and making phone calls, and if you engage the social media site, you might be the few company that's doing it. But so it may be an advantage. But I've never done social media because I know it has not been effective in the past, because government is slow to adopt some, technology. Now, if it comes to cybersecurity, they want to adopt the latest technology. But when it comes to social media, they're not like in the forefront. So you can test it out. All right, so let's talk about building relationships. And let me go through this PowerPoint here, or this relationships, the relationship triangle. So when it comes to building relationship, these are the different relationships that you should have. And so you got to have relationships with all these different agencies there. So you're the contractor, you're the vendor, and as the vendor, you want to have a relation with these green circles here. You got to have a relation with the end user. The end user is the agency itself. They're the one that needs your product or your services. So the end user they have a need, but they have limited contracting authority. If it's $25,000 or less, they can swipe a credit card. If it's $3,000 or less, they can do a micro purchase, and they can just call you on the phone and say, hey, I need this here, like medical supply. They can just call you on the phone and say, hey, I need this here. Or they can use GSA schedule and do an easy to purchase type of method like that. But agencies, the actual agency itself, let's use the CDC as an example. The CDC, they have a lot of different needs. They need staffing, epidemiologists, they need program managers, they need IT support, they need all kinds of different things. Anything over $25,000, they must use a formal procurement process unless it's a unique type of product that no one else has and they can buy directly from you. But generally, they have to go through a procurement process because the supervisor, the program manager there, they don't have contracting authority. Anything larger than typically $25,000, they have to go through a contracting officer down here. Some agencies, they have an in-house contracting office. Some agencies, they have to outsource it to GSA. GSA is a buying arm for government agencies. Some agencies, they do not they don't know the FAR, right? The Federal Acquisition Regulation. The FAR is like the government Bible in terms of how to sell to the government and how to buy from commercial companies. So the FAR regulates how agencies buy from businesses and how business should sell to agencies. A supervisor working at CDC, they probably have never read the FAR. They just say, I need this here. Our printer went down and I need a new printer tomorrow. My AC just went down and I need an AC this afternoon. That's all they know. They don't know what the FAR is. And they know of the FAR, but they've never read the FAR. So they have to go to contracting officers. The contracting officers, they have to go to school to become a contracting officer. Typically 2 to 3 years. So it's like a college degree to become a contracting officer. They start off at some entry level to do some minor support, and then if they want to get into the contracting world, they have to go to school, and they have to get a DAWIA level 1 as an entry level position, DAWIA, DAWIA. And then they go to DAU, Defense something university. I forgot. Huh? Yeah, Defense Acquisition University. Yeah, that's right. See, you're speaking Governese. So they have to go to a university. And it's not like a traditional university. Some of it is in class, but some of it's online, and they have to go pass a test. And after they get level 1, level 2, level 3 allows them to award contracts billions of dollars. But if they're now level 3, they're level 2, they might only go up to $1 million or $5 million or something. They're level 1, probably $150,000 or less, or very entry level type of contracting threshold. So these are the professions that understands the regulations. The contracting officer is the CO, or sometimes they're called the KO. There's also the PCO, the procurement contracting officer. The TCO is the termination contracting officer. Do you want to see the termination contracting officer? No. You don't want to see them until the project is done and they're closing out the paperwork. The ACO, the administrative contracting officer, the contracting specialist, the core contract officer representative, or the COTAR, the contract officer technical representative, and the FPO, the federal project officer. All of these are different names. Different agencies use different names. Sometimes the one person wears all these hats. Sometimes, because it's a large agency, they have multiple different people. Each person have a different hat. So it just depends on who you're working with. They have the contracting authority, the buying power. The end user have the need. The contract officer have the authority to purchase from you as a small business. Now, the small business advocates, these are the people that supports you as a small business. They're the OSTABU, or the SBA boss, your BOS, and they are the advocates to support small businesses. Now, I say that very loosely, right? Your boss, or the OSTABU, the small business, liaison, all these different people here, they don't always know business. Many of them have never owned a business, so they don't understand the pain that you go through as a small business. Many of them,
know the guidelines of the government.
All they know is just the regulations, and they make sure that you're in compliance. That's what most of them do. So you have to help them to help you. So work with your small business advocates, but help them to help you. So these are the relationships you have. End users, contract officers, small business advocates. Small business advocates have influence. They don't have contract authority, and they don't have a need, but they have influence to the other two green circles. So they can actually call someone up and say, hey, I've got this great 8A company, they do medical supplies, and I noticed you haven't really met your 8A set-aside program. And will you consider working with 8A company and maybe even sole sourcing this?
How do you think it's okay with the advocate? What would they be?
You already have an advocate. That's your boss.
Oh, okay, BOS.
Yeah, that's.
I didn't know if they were someone besides them. Yeah, I got you.
So they're the small business specialists. They have, some of them are just called small business specialists. Some of them are called the SBA boss. Some of them are called the OSTABU office. Different agencies have different terminology. And because you're in the 8A program, you have a boss.
Right.
See, you thought you were the boss.
No, I didn't. I don't think that. So don't do that. I'm so green. I wouldn't even say that to even think about that.
Yeah.
I highly respect mine.
Yeah, and
I just want to make sure that we put out here in this atmosphere.
hey, we are recording this session, so I will tell Tansy that you love her to death, and you have a great deal of respect for her.
I'm assuming we're not even outside of the setting. I wouldn't say that because
Yeah, absolutely.
these people like BOS.
Yes, but not all BOS are created equal.
I'm sure.
I have heard many nightmares about how BOS have jacked up contracts. So
I do want to ask you a question while you're on that.
yeah.
When you are, say for instance, if I'm awarded something, does that have to go directly through my BOS or?
Absolutely. In the 8A program, it's not really your contracts. When an agency award a contract to an 8A company, it doesn't belong to the 8A company. It belongs to the SBA. So the SBA will receive the contract on your behalf, and then they will assign the contract over to you.
Okay, so like the person I told you I'm working with, how does that work? Because I need to know that. So he sent me all that stuff.
He's just doing a purchase order.
No, I got you, but I'm saying, I told you all these things that he want me to give him a quote on. So let's say at the end of the day, he award me that.
Mm-hmm.
How do I proceed from there with my BOS? Do I need to call her?
That's just a purchase order?
That's different, so how?
Yes.
So you're saying that that's not an 8A thing?
That's not through the 8A program.
Yeah, but he wants to make sure that I was in 8A.
He just wants to make sure that you are 8A so that he can check off a box.
Oh.
Because he's got to meet his small business goals.
I got you.
And he needs 8A so that when if he needs to do sole source, he can use you as 8A, or he's got goals that he has to meet.
Right.
So it's like killing two birds with one stone then.
Yes.
So,
Just check off the box.
If he didn't put it out for open competition or for bid, if he didn't send you, he said, hey, here's a solicitation, send me a proposal, then that's not a solicitation. He is just asking for a quote from you, and then he's going to purchase from you through a purchase order.
okay. But then if he actually sitting there in, I guess
A solicitation, RFP, he's going to say, hey, I need a proposal from you.
I got you. Then that's what I need to send that
Yes.
to Tansy.
Yeah, then, well, you only get Tansy involved if it's a sole source. If it's not a sole source, Tansy doesn't have to necessarily be involved.
I got you.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I'm gonna take over. I'm just trying to make sure I understand, because that was something, that was a question I had in my mind. I wasn't sure how to approach it.
Mm-hmm.
So if it is a sole source, if I see a sole source that I would like to go after, I can send it, go to her and ask her
Yes.
to try to get that for me.
She can't get it for you, but she can advocate on your behalf. That's why they're called your small business advocates, right?
Okay.
So you find a project you're
Right.
interested in, you talk to the agency, the contracting officer,
Mhm.
and it's early, right? It's not a solicitation, it's not RFP.
Right.
It's in the sources sought stage or the market survey stage,
Right.
and you see it, you like it, you can email the contracting officer, call the contracting officer, and say, hey, I'm really interested in this project. Will you consider sole sourcing this here to an 8A company? And they say, yeah, I'm open to it. Then you reach out to Tansy. Tansy sends a requirement letter to the contracting officer, and then the three of you start talking and communicating back and forth. And then once if everything is set up, then they will say, okay, hey, send me a proposal on this. And it's a proposal, but it's more like a quote, a pricing, and then they'll probably send you a solicitation too. And bigger projects, on small project, they'll just say, hey, send me a quote on this or pricing on this.
Right.
And then you send them pricing, they do a sole source directly to the SBA, which transfer it over to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you reach out to the contracting officer first.
If it,
Kind of had that conversation.
yes, the only time you get Tansy involved, if it's an 8A set aside or 8A sole source. If it's not an 8A set aside or 8A sole source, I mean, it's good to kind of get Tansy involved anyways, to kind of stay close to her, but you don't necessarily need to get her involved if you don't want to.
Oh, I don't have a problem with it. I was just trying to see if I can do it. Anytime she can be involved, I really don't have a problem with those times, but she really need to be involved. I need to know when those times.
Yes. Set aside 8A sole source, those two things. All right, so let's continue. So you need relationships with large primes also. With large primes, they are required to subcontract about 35% to small businesses. When the large company wins a contract over $650,000, they are generally required to sub out work to small businesses. So that's why you need a relation with large companies. You also need a relation with large company, not only as to be a subcontractor, but you need a relation with large company, because when you go after a big contract, you might need someone to be a subcontractor to you that can handle a bigger project. Often, let's assume you're doing security guard, and you're going after a security guard project that's $20 million, and the biggest project you've done is $500,000. First of all, the government's not going to trust you with a $20 million contract. They're like, oh, they can't handle it.
Right.
But if you have a teaming partner that is a $100 million company, they can handle a $20 million project. So you get this relationship with this large company, and you bring a project to the table, and you say, hey, I've got a relationship with this contracting officer. They want to award this here to an 8A company, and all I need is a large company to be my teaming partner on it. Then they're gonna like, absolutely. Large company loves it when you're not going there with your hand out, with your hands asking for sub. They like it when you go to say, I have a project, I need your support on it. They love that. So when you're building relationships, so this is the technique you want to use. And it's not a technique, but it's reality, right? But it's a great technique. When you're engaging a large company, you're engaging them because you want to get some subcontracting work. But you don't lead with that, right? You don't go to a large company and say, hey, do you have any subcontracting work for my small business? You don't lead with that. You go to the large company and you find a project that you're interested in. I'll come back to you. You find a large company that you're interested in, a large project that you're interested in. You take that project, you go to a large company, you say, hey, I found a great project. I've been communicating with the contracting officer. They like to award it to a small business. But it's more than the scope. And I believe that through our partnership and teaming relationship, we have a better chance of winning this contract. Would you be open to teaming up with me as a partner in this here? You're taking them a piece of the pie, and they're gonna really support you in this project. They're gonna love you as a security guard company much better than you go in there and say, hey, I need some project, send me some small projects. But you leave with that, but here's what's gonna happen. You leave with that project is just a carrot you're using, right? The easiest way to move a horse, is it to hit a horse or to give it a carrot? Yeah, because they want the same thing, right? You want them to move, you give them a carrot. The horse is gonna come to you. You hit the horse might move, but that horse might kick you back. So there's a few ways of how you engage companies, large companies. Now, if you're engaging the large company, who do you need to engage there? Who's the person you need to engage? What's their title? The what? The diversity manager, yes. But in the government market, what's their official title? Officer. Yes, all right, Tony, that's good, man. You're speaking Governese, man. Yeah. So the SBLO, the Small Business Liaison Officer, you want to engage this person. Their role is to work with small businesses, to find subcontractors, to find a diverse vendor database. That's who you want to engage. Now, in the commercial market, they're called the diversity manager. In the government market, they're called the SBLO. Sometimes they're also called the subcontracting manager.
These are not the people I should be engaging, huh?
You should be.
Maybe they should start there?
Yes. Yes, that's a very good place to start. So instead of going to a large manufacturing company and say, hey, I want to set up a vendor relationship with you, you go to their website, find out who the diversity managers are, and build that relationship with them. Question, Roberto?
Yeah, and no more than a question, it's just a comment, and based on my own experience. Sometimes large companies, they are not even aware about certain things because they are so busy in their own big projects that then this small company, which is hungry to find projects, you save them the time to pay somebody else or exclusively to looking for opportunities. Yeah. So when you show up and you say, hey, this, and you made them aware about it, it's just like, wow, great. And then the relationship is established a little bit more stronger because they know that you are looking for those projects and you are thinking about them. Yeah.
Who likes a one-night stand? Anybody?
Am I supposed to really answer that question?
Now, if you like a one-night stand, so if you do like a one-night stand, don't answer, okay? Most people are really in it for a long-term relationship. And so when you're engaging people, you're looking to establish a long-term relationship with these businesses. So when you're engaging them, don't come across like you're desperate. Don't come across like you just started your business yesterday. Don't come across like if they don't work with you, it's their loss. I mean, just be genuine to people and be engage them at a professional level and be real and just look for a long-term relationship with them. And they're going to appreciate that. That's going to take you much further than just looking like, I need a contract now, and if I don't get it, my business is going to shut down.
Regardless of how true that may be.
Correct. That may be reality.
Just don't act like it.
So I have a saying. You may be desperate, but you don't have to act desperate.
Exactly.
You can still come across very strong, very solid, and so forth. I was desperate when I was single. I was 30 years old, and I've had one girlfriend in my life, which was high school, right?
Oh, my. Today is called Thursday.
Now, for me, it wasn't because, I wasn't just interested. I made a commitment to the Lord that I'm going to serve the Lord. And so I was doing ministry work, I was building businesses, and I just wasn't, interested in that. But when I turned 30, I said, wow, you know what? I'm 30. I need to find a good woman and think about settling down. But even though I was desperate internally, I didn't come across to the lady that I was desperate. I'm 30, the clock's ticking, right? And I didn't come across that. Because if I acted desperate, it's going to turn her off. All right, so let's continue. So you need relationships with other small businesses. So other small businesses here. Other businesses that have different certifications, different skill set that you don't have. And then you need to build your internal government contracting department. And we'll talk about how to build your Dream 100 in a little bit. So these are relationships you need. So let's continue here. It'll come back. So I want to talk about building your Dream 100. And it goes back to the relationship triangles that I showed you there. As a business in the government market, you need your Dream 100. And this Dream 100, if you want a copy of this Dream 100, shoot me an email. I will email this Excel document to you. Just shoot me an email that says, Dream 100, please send to me, and I will send it to you, no cost, no nothing. I just want to help you out. So you need this Dream 100 list. And in your Dream 100, let me open up. You're going to identify small companies, you're going to identify large companies, you're going to identify agencies, you're going to identify contracting officers, you're going to identify your contracting team. And when you're out there meeting people and networking, if they don't fit into your Dream 100, don't spend a lot of time fostering that relationship, because it's not moving you forward. So for example, you're out there and you're networking, you're meeting people, and they say, oh, you know what, I do proposal writing. Should they be on your Dream 100? Yes. That person, you want to build that relationship, you want to connect with them, because you need a proposal writer as part of your Dream 100. Okay, come on, why is it not opening up?
So are we actually going to be dealing with 100 people? Is that just
100, yes. Your top 100 people you're going to be engaging. So you're going to have your top 20 agencies that you're going to engage. You're going to have your top 20 contracting officers that you want to engage. You're going to have your top 10 small business advocates that you're going to engage. You're going to have your top 10 internal team that you need to have. And then you're going to have your top 10. So all these circles that I showed you,
right,
all of them have 20 except your contracting department and except the small business advocates. You're going to have 10 of those.
Okay.
And so you're going to have a total of 100 people. Now there is this video I have, and it's on YouTube, and it goes into a training on how to develop your Dream 100. So if you go to YouTube, and I made it open to the public, so you can just go on here and put in here how to build your Dream 100. So it's this first video here. So this video, it's a 1 hour video, and it's going to take you step by step by step how to build your Dream 100. And I use this here to help the businesses I work with to grow their business so that they can get to where they want to go. So your Dream 100 looks like this here. So it's an Excel sheet. They identify your top 20 agencies, and then it identifies your top 20 contracting officers that you want to engage, and identifies the top 20 primes that you want to engage, the top 20 teaming partners that you want to have, top 10 small business specialists that you want to engage, and then top 10 contracting team that you want to have in terms of your department. And so this is the video will take you through that step by step. And I'm not sure why the Dream 100 is not opening up, but that's fine. So that's how it looks like.
That's what we'll be getting from you?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And it's you know, I've already put in the organization, the name, the title, the phone, email, dates, and your first email, the voicemail, the voice message that you left. All of that's on here so that you can kind of use it. And I'll show you where to go to find the list of companies and all these different things in the video. So coming back here, so your Dream 100 is very important. Now, I want to stress how important, once you have your Dream 100, just because you have your Dream 100, does that mean you're going to be successful? You have to market and engage these people on your Dream 100. You may not be able to reach out to all 20 agencies that you want to engage, but at least start with the first 3. Because if you're looking at all 20, it can be overwhelming, right? Start off with the first 3 agencies that you think is the best match for you. So for example, most of you are based here in Georgia, and because you're based in Georgia, the first agency you want to focus on is what? CDC. They are the largest buyer of federal buying agency in the state of Georgia. So you want to do work with them. The next thing you want to do work with is Fort Gordon, right? Fort Gordon in Augusta. That's Cyber Command. And if you're in IT, that you must do business with Fort Gordon. Fort Benning in Columbus, Georgia, which is an hour, 15, hour, 30 minutes away from us, it's one of the largest military institutions in the state of Georgia. You got Fort Gillem in Forest Park, like 30 minutes from here. Pseudo open. They've downsized their base to almost very small, but they're still there. But they're down the street. They've got Fort Mac, which is 99% not operational, but they still got a few offices there. So Fort McPherson and East Point, 30 minutes from here. You've got so you think about where you need to be as a business, and so this becomes part of your list, right? Now there are a few smaller agencies that most people don't engage. For example, Department of Forestry. Not many people was thinking like, I want to forestry department. Not many people think, I want to sell to the forestry department. So you might be only the few company that's knocking on their door. No one's thinking a city of Norcross. And they're a small little city, but if you are knocking on their door, or Clayton County, right? Clayton County, not the largest county in the metro Atlanta area, but they have the SLBE certification program. That might be a good agency for you to go and work with. So there's all these different little agencies out there for you to engage.
In Clayton County just started a new certification too.
Mm-hmm.
The LPB.
LPV?
A local preferred vendor.
Okay.
That's something that's made, I just did it and got certified for that.
Okay, yeah.
They're trying to get more businesses local, you know, like in the metro, not so much in Clinton County, you know, the counties that's in that metro little thing.
Yeah, metro area,
Right, so yeah, that's a new one for them.
Have you heard of that, Myra? The LPE?
Yeah, like we used to certify only the counties that touched it, the 5 counties that are contiguous to Clayton. So
Okay, well, whatever those counties are, but her name is Tammy McKenzie. If you want to reach out to her,
Sure.
she would be the one that to send out information on that.
Okay, yeah, we'll look into that.
Tammy McKenzie. And I could be wrong with the whole name, but I know there are bordering counties, so stand to be corrected on that. It's like, we're talking about 6 counties.
Yeah.
Spalding, Fulton, Henry, Clayton, I know those.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good.
Okay.
So we are out of time. So we've been talking about building relationships in the government market. The key takeaway today is you must build a Dream 100 list so that you're not all over the place. For example, some of you see a project in California, you say, oh, it's a perfect match. I want to do business in California. You see another project in Oregon. You see a project in Washington. You see a project in Alabama. There's 50 states. You can't do business in all 50 states. There's 85,000 agencies. You cannot do business with all 80. You will be registering to be a vendor for the next 30 years. That's why you have to narrow down to your top 100. And in the video, I show you how to do that. For example, you want to do it based on the NAICS code and the amount of dollars that they're awarding in your industry. Tie back to the agency that you want to work with. So that's kind of, so that's discussed in the video. But go relationships. This is not the best time to engage contracting officers because they're at the federal level, because they're in the buying season. And so go forth, do awesome. Thanks for joining us. And we will see you next Tuesday for another session of Deep Dive. If you have questions, ask me afterwards. My email is Abe. Let me pull it up here. abe@govcontractors.org. So that's my email. If you email me there, I will send you a copy of the Dream 100 list.
Thank you for your generosity.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so I will see you guys next Tuesday. We'll continue training.
Thank you so much.